What else did they move from Olleh? No Camille from Brandini.
Yeah, Olleh definitely one of the supports that draws quite a few bans. LeBlanc going to find her way still here. Froggen actually has been playing a ton of Corki, and that's not really a surprise because, you know, multiple years he's actually put in on that champion even before, you know, the changes to make him more magic damage focused than he already was. But it would not be a surprise if they try and, you know, work their way around that one to get him a good matchup.
We're seeing a couple of adaptive bans as well. Like FOX removed the Kog'Maw that Cody Sun has put in a lot of time into recently as well. And we'll see if Immortals continues their trend of not respecting Zac. They did not ban it yesterday, and the same comes true here. Still respecting the Caitlyn quite a bit, but they have hopped off the Zac trend, and apparently so has FOX.
Yeah, one of my biggest, you know, pet peeves as if you do get Zac as well, one of the things, it's really difficult to play into a very good disengaged support. And I feel like a large part of the reason, you know, Immortals are more willing to let that one through nowadays. They have a lot of trust in Olleh as far as, you know, moving towards the mid-game section for the disengages.
Absolutely true. Quick yawn for Pobelter. Apparently he's not excited about this match, but it certainly should be important for him. Jarvan grabbed up. Flame likely to play it, though Xmithie, of course, could. And we'll see if they want to grab anything else high priority just yet. I saw the Sivir hover, and I do like it for the matchup. And I actually even like grabbing it a bit earlier so you can wait to adapt on your next pick here. So I think it's a solid bot lane, and if they're not up against Braum, she will do so much damage in team fight.
That's why the AD carry pick ban is actually still interesting to me, even though everyone's like, oh, I'm so bored with Kalista, Tristana, you know, this sort of meta with Sivir and Caitlyn and stuff like that. Because you can't just early pick the Tristana anymore, you know, assuming that they're going to blindly go in with the Kalista, as that was, you know, top tier last week. Everybody was first picking all the time, but as you said, Sivir, nice time into it. Spell shield, super easy to get off. Quick picks coming through though, and this is second favorite strategy in pick bans right now. Red side, last pick in their mid laner, then throwing 2 more bans at mid. It's pretty much foolproof right now because there aren't extra counters. Like no mid laner right now, unless you're going real far out on the fringes, has more than 2 champions that you're worried about. So you often don't even have to spend both of your second round bans on mid lane. As you know, LeBlanc is always off the table. There's that Corki though that we talked about for Froggen. He's gonna have to branch out.
It's very interesting because I know you talked about bot lane counter picks again, Triss Sivir being the very primary one here. No one seems to have like 3 Taliyah counter picks ready. Maybe they don't exist, or maybe no one has learned them, or no one's afraid of them just yet, but certainly you're right. The semi-blind Taliyah and a Corki ban, not like it's a hard counter or anything, it's just speaking. Feel totally fine about this one. Lulu dropped off for FOX, hoping to remove some more buffing supports.
And again, I think the Corki thing is just super targeted at Froggen since he's, you know, has so many games on that champion. Lucian does come through as well to complement that. You know, don't want any early snowballing there, and Lucian can definitely try and pressure Taliyah early. The other thing with Taliyah, as far as counter picks, quote unquote, the best counter to her is outplaying her skill shots. So much of her damage can be dodged if you're mobile. Lucian is extremely mobile. And yeah, you don't want to always dash over the mines, but sometimes it's worth it if you're going to dodge the seismic shove and threaded volley.
Totally agree on that one. So it's going to be 2 mid lane bans the one side, 2 Olleh bans the other, and he still goes for the karma for himself. Almost definitely going into support role here, so certainly several team speed ups now for the squad to help Pobelter and Flame get on the front line. We're still waiting for that top jungle flex finally for Immortals. You know, FOX themselves a top jungle flex as well, and their mid laner.
Gotta go fast here for Immortals. They're definitely gonna want a little bit more frontline as well. As far as Xmithie, the Gragas, you know, playing into Gragas, it doesn't really preclude you from any sort of picks or anything. So he still has a pretty wide open, you know, selection.
Ooh, Talon!
Want to play Jarvan?
Exciting. Talon in the mid lane now for FOX. Froggen's bringing this one out, hoping to assassinate some of the back line. It's only a karma to really shield it up, so maybe the Shen's going to come in to make it a bit easier. Not a lot of magic damage on the team. Could be a risk against some of the tanks. I have
a feeling this game is going to be determined fairly early on.
Yeah,
Talon Taliyah matchup is extremely volatile. With the Rek'Sai now picked up for the jungle, that is going to mean Akaadian can go for those level 3 ganks, or even, you know, earlier than that, as we saw when he first joined the LCS and he was just on fire. Everyone was talking about how he's First Blood King and he got like, what, 8, 10 or something like that in a row. This could very well be a possibility. With Talon, you know, people haven't seen him a lot or played a lot of him recently. You have to worry about the all-ins, even on level 2. Watch the passive stacks under the enemy champion. If you go fishing with your W and you get both hits, then you can get that 3 stack really quickly. And the bleed plus ignite damage can definitely mean first bloods within the first 5 minutes if a jungler comes as well. But don't think Pobelter will be caught off guard.
Seems unlikely he will be. Talon right now is 0-2 in the North American LCS. It's his 3rd game now. It's Froggen's first of the split. See how he does with himself. He has been known to do well on Assassins before. Froggen prides himself on having a wide champion pool, and we'll see if he can pull this one out nicely. It's going to be a fun one to watch for. Absolutely! Exciting step ahead right here. Immortals hoping to keep pace with TSM and lock in that first place bye. FOX again hoping to keep at arm's length ahead of everyone else below them in the standings. Hold on to a 7th or 8th place spot. They are in 7th right now. They can keep that going. Destiny is in their hands. FOX for Immortals, going to be a fun one.
Definitely going to be a fun one. I think this one's going to be action-packed. Like, we're going to see a lot of fireworks early on in this game. You know, Jarvan, yes, has been one of the champions that I always like to say can go for these level 2 ganks, you know, straight off a red buff or something like that. However, you know, Xmithie has been really into the Cinder Hulk, full tank Jarvan very much recently, so we'll just go with a very standard buff, 1 camp, then another buff into either Scuttle Crab or gank.
Okay, let's see what we find. Right now, FOX going to stack up. This is a pretty standard anti-invade situation. You put your mid laner mid to watch for the short route, and then everyone else stacks up together. They find that Olleh is holding the line in the river, though, and it means that Flame's going to get a little bit of alone time top side. 8 gold to Olleh.
30 seconds.
I do like still looking for the aggressive moves when you have Braum for level 1s, though. So can't blame him too much. It's just a tiny bit of gold. It actually does not, you know, really affect the game much at all. Even the Olleh likes to min-max. And we'll see if he gets his roaming time as well this game. I mean, with Sivir, early on, I'm not going to want to leave her out, but it feels so nice once she gets that instant shove.
Yeah.
Usually around level 5, feels really confident. You don't expose yourself at all, really.
No.
With a Q and a W, pretty much annihilate it.
You can run out of mana if you don't have an Essence Weaver yet on Sivir. And in fact, we've been increasingly seeing Sivers go for an Infinity Edge Rush, but it can, and sometimes it's not, you know, very important here. We'll see what comes through on this one. Always like checking out the statistics for solo queue. Coin, Karma, actually the 1.5% win rate increase over Spell Thief, but Olleh wants the more increased early game ability power and the extra lane dominance. We'll see if that comes through. Quick leash there onto Xmithie, and a super leash, of course, for Akaadian.
And the difference there, you know, solo queue is more skewed a bit towards just basically saving up gold for big items. Ardent Censer is the big item. Obviously, Karma, you know, that 1 item power spike that all the shielding supports want to rush to is the Ardent Censer. But Olleh here going for the more aggressive, as you said, you get extra damage as well. So we may see the effects of that decision in the lane as he's really trying to whittle down the Braum and take away some of that threat. Because Tristana Braum is something that you always do have to worry about, especially if there's a Rek'Sai who can gank behind a red team's bottom lane. One of the most common ganks is you loop around up there behind the red team's tri-bush on bottom side, and then you just tunnel over behind the duo. You know, Tristana and Braum both have gap closers, have really good crowd control as well, so do like to see that. Sometimes best defense is a good offense. If you get the Braum super low to start it off, then be less likely to try and go for you.
Absolutely the case. We'll see if that comes through on this one. Brandini, you want to point out, went Thunderlord's Gragas, which I feel like is atypical. He went for the 5% CDR mastery at below it, so you know, maybe it's because he really wants 45 CDR Gragas support in the game, but either way, it's an atypical keystone for top Gragas, but either way, that's the way he's gone for. And we'll see if that pans out to be anything else in the future. It does have Magic Pen marks as well, so a little bit high damage.
Yeah, I kind of like it because not only the cooldown reduction that you mentioned, but even though you don't scale your Thunderlords because you're not really building any flat attack damage or AP beyond the ring, nice little trade.
Yeah, it gets the damage in, but Froggen, of course, never triggers the passive without letting a third spell hit, so Pobelter wins that one.
Yeah, you can see he's only got 2 of the stacks on him right there, so unable to get the benefits. Yeah, so even though you don't really scale it, I still always have this feeling, even, you know, coming from the jungle when you take Thunderlord. Never mind. A little bit of a stun going there.
Yeah. See how much easier it is to trade when you are the Braum, put the shield up, but at the same time, Keith actually still takes both halves of the Q, so a nice back half trade by Cody Sun, and he got some good hits on the Keith there.
TLDR, base damage with Thunderlords is still good late game on carries when you're flashing in.
Great, there you go.
Got it out.
Brandini might get the burst in. Again, considering he's got a Talon on his squad, he really might just want that little bit of extra burst to make sure the backline kills come through. And we'll see if it matters later on here. Early game gold lead to Immortals. They're winning kind of everywhere. Plus 11 in the mid lane, 9 in top, and 10 in bot lane. So every single person doing wonderfully in this early game lead. And it might keep going.
And you do expect, you know, Taliyah to be able to retain wave control in the mid lane versus Talon. If there's no early jungle visit, as like we were talking about before, then you know the threat of the all-in champion in any of these matchups. This doesn't just go for Talon versus Taliyah, right? Greatly diminishes the laning power. Junglers have huge effects on generally ranged versus melee matchups because the ranged champion almost always depends on kill threat to make the ranged champion play more honestly and, you know, deny them less.
And we'll see if any denial really comes through here onto this one. Brandini just sitting under the turret, knows he's not going to get attacked by Flame, triggers the Thunderlords for extra wave clear, and it made the minions die to one auto attack. He saw it coming. Beautiful stuff, Nostradamus here, Brandini. Still is just Echo Fox licking their wounds and hoping they can find some way to come back against a team tied for first place right now. Both minions are gone. And here's the first recall in there. Brandini getting himself Dark Steel off armor. He's going to go probably towards I don't know, whatever the tank armor is going to be, but knows he needs to survive Flame and Cody Sun later on in the game.
And for Xmithie, I think main objective is, again, as we said, just retain vision control around Pobelter to let him kind of abuse and cause more CS discrepancy. Right now, though, they're bringing 3 members to that mid lane.
3v2 with a nice flag dug over the wall, comes in the flash and knock up, though. Flash to get away for Xmithie. The chase is in, and the first blood comes in. He vaults right back over the wall. Froggen getting 400 gold, beautifully set up by Akaadian.
Kill pressure? Do you say kill pressure? Froggen with a very slick use of the parkour there on Talon. Flashes in, knowing that he can just hop over the raptor wall, gets the kill onto the jungler. You have to be so cautious as a jungler going towards mid lane once they're level 6 because you're so squishy. The ultimate here for Froggen is already in. This is basically perfect timing for an assassin mid laner. He jumps on the level 4 jungler, gets him with the ignite, the bleeds, the ultimate comes through, and even though exhaust goes down, able to find that kill and find the money. This is what tips that matchup, tips those range versus melee matchup. Froggen now has some cash to work with.
Yeah, he does. Nice stuff here for him, and you can see that he's going towards what could either be Youmuu's or a Duskblade. They have the same build path, so it's unknown just yet.
For me, I really prefer rushing the Duskblade.
So,
the extra damage for me means so much. Even though you get a tremendous amount of speed out of the Ghostblade, it just always feels so impactful when you get the Duskblade Fox. Plus, Vision Denial is something that's really underrated about that item.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very, very strong item. I just know last time I saw Lethality user, it was a Jhin, and almost all pro Jhins were rushing Youmuuu. And certainly, Duskblade's weaker on range, so that might have been the real difference here. But yeah, I think it goes for. I agree with Duskblade being great.
I think Assassin mindsets more tend towards the Vision Denial aspect and the extra burst, but we shall see. Maybe he will go with the roaming power because it's interesting. That's main strength here of Taliyah that we always talk about. Shoving the wave, getting to roam off with your early ultimate, right?
Yep.
But if Talon can chase you down, you know, he has huge move speed if you go Ghostblade and then can hop over walls to catch up to you. Yeah. And if he closes the distance, you're toast.
Yeah. You're super dead if that happens. It should be pretty easy for him to juke out the skill shots, and he can even jump over your ulti wall. It makes fresh terrain for him.
He can actually, it's so long that you can jump over 2 parts of it,
That's
by the way.
You can probably do more than 2, I'm guessing, but maybe I'm wrong about this. Either way, Keith and Brandini have now joined in the top lane as Keith gets the heck out of that lane, but he was able to get himself a BF sword recall, so he's got at least some decent pressure, clears out the wave, and the question is how fast is it compared to the Sivir? And right now, it's actually the small tempo lead to the Echo Fox Marksman, but with Flame hanging around, looks like he's not going to go for more, and it's actually some free time out of Cody Sun, so it is several minion waves denied here bot side. These minions are not being absorbed for gold or XP by anyone. Brandini has no TP, hasn't walked down, and Cody Sun getting insane free time, and every wave is 100 gold that Echo Fox are not getting.
This is kind of why we spent a lot of time on that matchup in Champ Select, right? And this is why the Karma did make so much extra sense. Helping the Sivir really exploit that. This is going to be a very fed Sivir. Let's see about the first turret gold, though, because right now, Immortals are trying to delay for that objective.
Yep.
Just focus the minions. Make sure that EchoFox don't have much time to answer.
Picked up, and now the 1v1 Froggen wants Pobelter, pops the ulti, gets away from the seismic shove, but he had to kite backwards because he was afraid of the knockback, and he gets damage across. Pobelter saves his flash, saves exhaust.
And those are key when you're versus this matchup. Here comes the Akaadian, though.
Jaw's not going to find the chomp, and not going to get it here. The land shark not going to find his prey.
Solo first turret gold here to Sivir. Olleh is able to pick it up in addition to his giant CS lead. Plus, he's been working off of a Cole.
Yep.
So this is looking like a very, very scary game. As you said before, there are multiple sources of extra speed for Immortals. Since they're the ones getting the early lead here, they get to press the tempo. And really the only thing he has to watch out for is Froggen. You know, Froggen could come from any sort of angles to try and assassinate the Sivir, but you know, Spell Shield will go a bit of a ways in protecting you.
Yeah, it'll block one of the spells, and Talon's only got 3 important ones, so it could mean a lot.
And one spell actually means a lot versus Talon because of the passive that we keep going over. You know, trying to get those 3 stacks is a large portion of the damage.
You do have enough ways to get 3 stacks, even with 1 spell shield, but it still is harder. If you can flash one of them, you're almost immune now, and that's where a lot of the damage comes from. So things to watch for, absolutely. Olleh will be grabbing the shield. Cody Sun did not choose to go Ninja Tabby, which I'm a little surprised by because I don't think he needs the damage that badly, and I think not dying might have been the better choice, but he certainly went for the higher damage version. We'll see if it bites him in the end. It's always up to a decision, right? Durability versus damage. You are a backline threat. If you respect your team to peel, you don't need it. We'll see what comes through with Pobelter keeps the push going in the mid lane. Still holding on to this nice, 10-15 minion lead here. Brandini gonna find a stun, a little bit of damage. Thunderlord's triggered.
Are you gonna do that every time you see it?
Whoa, Keystones! I'm so excited.
Xmithie Blast Cone!
Uh-oh, gonna stack up Fervor of Battle. Here's the knock of Thunderlord's triggered by Xmithie, and Brandini is gonna die. Storm Raider's not triggered by Pobelter.
Okay, that is a big roam down bottom. Means that their mid lane is open. They are going to push on the bottom side, and it's not the biggest of sacrifices because first turret gold's already been taken. Let's see what happens now. They're all collapsing. This is a Sivir ultimate available.
Gonna run away with it though. Froggen is scary, and I don't blame Cody Sun in the slightest. He's still in the chase. Yeah, walls don't help you. They speed him up, and he's on the chase. Spellship blocks ulti number 1, and he gets away with it.
Yep, that's only gonna be 2 procs. Olleh here helping.
Yeah, puts on the red beam, and Froggen just jumps against the wall one more time and gets away with it. Top turret should be falling, and this time around, EchoFox able to tie up the turret score. Gold lead 1,300 still for Immortals, and meanwhile, they're pushing bot lane tier 2 and mid outer.
Yeah,
a lot of damage.
They did split their DPS though. Xmithie left the bottom lane push and went up to help Froggen in mid lane, so they didn't get bottom turret. I don't know about mid. It's now been collapsed upon. This is quite a few rotations.
That turret's gone at the very least. Xmithie getting the local gold. Oh, no, to save himself. The turret will not fall, but the chase is now on for Akaadian. Xmithie gonna run away. Pobelter gonna flash. Now has, no, sorry, it wasn't his who flashed. Gets away on this side of it.
A scramble. And he gets out alive too. Everybody just fighting for their lives. Well, okay, maybe Brandini will to hit him with the Thunderlords. Well played.
He's running. All right, he's fine.
Didn't get it.
Wait,
off?
no, he's a 1v3. Here comes Akaadian.
Oh, Froggen will be the one.
Froggen, here's the TP to save him. Can they save Private Xmithie? They're hoping to make it happen. The flash. The Cat doesn't get away, and he's got a shield if they want it. There's the body slam. The attacks are in. One more, and he's not going to get him. The damage isn't there. One more auto would have triggered the keystone and gotten the kill, but it wasn't to be had. Out he goes.
Oh my goodness. Xmithie brushes the dirt off his shoulders.
All planned.
Clean escape. He's wearing the Fnatic jersey, so it just came naturally to him. Able to get out there. That was pretty entertaining. I have to say the last maybe 5 minutes have been just a jumble of rotations. Top to mid, back to bottom, everybody trying to collapse for kills, and Immortals are the ones who get the last laugh.
The turret falls down. I mean, Xmithie wearing the Fnatic jungler jersey, all EchoFox can do is sigh and hide about the fact that they couldn't make that play happen. That was good. You should have groaned or laughed at that. Cyanide. All right. Xmithie going for the outplay, and of course he gets it. Kobe is still laughing, by the way. I'll call this one out. One auto comes in, second not to land, the knock it makes it happen. That's what I wanted, thank you.
All right, let's take a look at this Ocean Drake. probably going to go uncontested after the last bit of gold here gone over to Immortals. The gold lead, even though it looks, you know, so chaotic and the scramble's been all over the map, Immortals have been, you know, pretty good about keeping that gold lead up here. And it does get difficult for FOX. We talked about how quick Immortals can get around the map and pressure once they have the lead.
That was close. He got a couple hits off there.
There we go.
Here comes the wall. He's going to look for the seismic, shove the flash, get away, heal as well. But Keith might just have some... Oh, that shove was amazing, though. Pobelter grabs in too. And it's going to run away. Not going to be landed by the Glacial Fissure. And now the knockup is in for Akaadian. Two sides of the fight, though, as Cody Sun runs away. But a nice root from Olleh buys time, and Froggen cannot get that kill. But now the explosive cask is in. The damage output's there. Froggen dives in for one, but a trade comes through. And meanwhile, another one in. Thanks to the Gragas, Brandini makes the damage come in. 3-4 now in overall kills. Looks like it's a 2-for-2, a tied fight.
I feel like both teams should just be shouting, everyone group up right now, because we constantly are having engages. That was just so fun to watch Froggen's path from the back line back over the wall into the kill, you know, execution on the other half of the skirmish. But again, the Immortals are the ones pushing the extra wave here. Flame was not involved in this at all. He pushes top lane up, and top lane is going to get most of this turret health, if not all of it. Doesn't look like, you know, Akaadian will be able to go up there and defend. Take a look at the replay, though. It starts out in the mid lane, and here's all the extra speed. Really nice movement here from Pobelter. Even gets that shove you're talking about. Executes one. Looks like he's going to get another one in. But then they have a extra member coming from base. Akaadian does go up.
Good flash. Flame had to flash there. He was probably going down otherwise.
And the crucial part after that, flashing into an immediate auto attack on the blast cone. I have had many a teammate mess that one up, and then you're using your flash and still dying there by blast coning the wrong direction or missing it, and you know, clicking on the opponent, still going down. So props to Flame. Yeah, accurate mouse clicks there.
Accurate mouse clicks. Very nicely done by him, and we'll see if they can make more good plays. 2-0-0 is a good scoreline for this Renekton. The 40 minion lead also nice. Slices over the wall. Says Froggen, I can do that too. I was the original. Got some hipster glasses on. Flame feels good. He's got his cardigan. He's feeling all right with this one. Sip his ironic wine. Probably got a pun in the name.
I'm really getting a good picture here. Nice visualization.
Got some lensless glasses, and now Akaadian's running away, and now blast cone hit again. Xmithie's less good though. Less good blast cone.
All right, we'll give that one a B+, I guess.
What?
I'm a very nice teacher, I guess.
Yeah, yes. You're grading on a curve. No. Everyone passed in this one. Cody Sun gonna walk up to the top lane, has plenty of farm for himself. Here comes the wall down the bot lane. They want Brandini, and can he survive? Triggers the damage output, but still very alone. Akaadian comes with the knockup. Nice, actually, jukes by both getting away from the explosive cast, and a couple more shots will do it, but maybe they can have Akaadian join this fight. Flash to buy some time, and it's going to buy enough, and the ult is going to come across, and he just doesn't have the... Did he ult the wrong person? I think Akaadian might have hit Flame with it.
Another challenger joins! Oh, but
he's going to get him! Woo! The Winter's bite comes in, and they were right all along. Winter was coming, and it came to knock down Pobelter. Olleh died somewhere else on the map, so a 2-for-1 advantage. FOX. This time, Brandini making the outplay.
Is it, though? Every time we have a skirmish, one member of Immortals is pushing a side lane. This time it's Sivir, and we know what she does to minion waves. Destroys them immediately. Turret now going to be under pressure from Cody Sun. The Immortals do get the extra minion gold, even though they lose, again, a member in the skirmish over there on the side lane. The gold lead continuing to slowly increase here for Immortals as FOX, you know, trying to find some of the skirmish gold. Here we go, though. Pobelter does start it off. Brandini buys a lot of time, and since Froggen did opt to go with the Ghost Blade option, as you were expecting, for the extra move speed, he is able to join this one eventually. Most of the FOX members getting in there. Ultimate there onto
Flame.
Flame instead. I believe that was a misclick.
It had to have been.
Because he did have damage on Pobelter, so it was a target. Gate, though, another accurate mouse click there. He's able to pick up the kill. Lands the Q.
Sickest of plays right here. Drift are going to go down pretty cleanly for Immortals. No one's looking to contest this, so IMT keeps going. To recap the gold, they're about 4,500 up. Even though we are 5-5 in kills, they've got 4-1 in turrets and farm leads in every single lane. They have got themselves a lead here in this one. The Ocean Drake picked up earlier on in this one, and Xmithie's got himself the Rift Herald buff. Let's see where that goes next.
Plus, the targets for Froggen are getting pretty difficult to choose here, right? Pobelter's got Ninja Tabby, and he's working on an Hourglass. you know, even just sitting on the Seekers is a large amount of survivability versus a lethality build. So going back to the boot choice maybe for Cody Sun, it has kind of opted for, I am the target now for Froggen. I am your main #1 target. So it's pretty clear what Echo Fox are going to try and focus. And we'll see what Cody Sun and the rest of Immortals can do about it to, you know, make these Berserker Greaves, extra attack speed, really worth it.
Well, Xmithie's going for a nice bounce. That'll help a little bit. 12% damage redirection for everything except the Ignite, which I don't believe true damage is redirected. Could be wrong about that. Olleh's got the shields, but no one's going lock-in just yet. We'll see if that comes through later on. Ardent Sensor about halfway done for Olleh. Went for the full Ice Stone first.
Froggen flanking from the top side of your screen. As you can see, it looks like they're going for a 5v4.
Flame won't be in range. Jumps in for Olleh. The burst is in. Karma's down. 1 for 0, and Froggen connects right back out with the Storm Raiders. Now, the TP is in, but it's a 4v5. Body Slam buys some time. Flame gonna be stunned up. Dunk comes through for Xmithie, and Gate shut down to 1 for 1 so far. Second kill comes through as Brandini drops out. And there's just simply too much damage from the back line. Froggen blew his combo onto 1 and had no damage left over. Now a 4v3 in the mid lane.
Yeah, you can't really blame an assassin for that. That's the assassin game pattern right there for Froggen. Gets in, kills 1, gets out, but the rest of the team can't get out. It's a really good engagement from Immortals. And something that we always like to highlight is even after you have given up a kill and you're at a disadvantage in terms of numbers, they know they have the extra DPS. Because of the assassin style there, Froggen is pretty much out of it. So Flame and Xmithie call for this re-engage here. Cataclysm gets 2 for themselves. As there's a lot less threat on the enemy team to worry about. Even though Olleh went down, he's kind of the sacrificial support.
And of course, he went Mobies himself to play for the team, and sadly, he got killed a couple of times with no tabbies, but still the contributions were in. The frontline dunk crew certainly did nicely. Flame and Xmithie doing a lot of the damage in that battle. You can see the actual damage grab. I think Cody Sun only got basically the Boomerang Blade and 1 auto attack, so he wasn't a huge factor, but it still worked out with the frontline.
That's the other discussion that I like to have about those types of choices. You mentioned the survivability there for a possible Cody Sun Ninja Tabi pickup. It's also a DPS increase if you have the confidence to get closer, right? She's a short-range champion. If you have those boots, and that allows you to not have to work around so much of the enemy threat that you can actually get more autos off than before. Then technically you can get more damage off. Regardless, we're actually going to have an Echo Fox attempt at a sneak here.
Froggen's zoning a little bit. Let's see if he can find something to do. Jumps in, gets some burst damage, and he's going to look for Cody Sun! And the burn is in! He makes it happen. Froggen in the 1v3 gets the kill. And Ninja Tabi maybe was relevant, but now Froggen's got to run away. He's got a wall to jump to.
Walls, haha.
Okay, and they're going to find Pobelter, who Zonia's is and has really nowhere to go. He's got no flash, has exhaust, but going to die 2 for 0. Froggen now, I think his 6th kill of the game. He's got 7 of 8 KP, trying to bring this game back in, but it's a 4,500 deficit still to work through. But a 5v3 on the map.
It definitely looks good here on the Talon. It's not going to mean a whole lot for the team, it doesn't feel like, but with 2 carries off the board, like this is the best chance Echo Fox get. They have to pressure this. He's trying to get more. Xmithie has all 3 procs for the passive.
All right, that did almost no damage because he's very tanky. He's going to keep trying for a bit more. There's no explosive cast goes zone on Xmithie though, and he's got smite, but no flash. Going to jump back over the wall, and the re-engage comes in looking for Flame and knock him with Glacial Fissure. Means he got a 5v3, and they're trying to pick up 1. He's going to watch out. He's He's got to run away, and Froggen getting the kill onto the Olleh kill on the very bottom side. Now that's 3 straight kills for Echo Fox as they're going to disengage.
He is just so slippery on Talon, utilizing every single wall over here to not only delay the enemy team, but he weaves in and out, grabs the extra kill here for Echo Fox. They are unable to turn it into a Baron, which would, you know, really turn that play into a true comeback.
Froggen gets found out, and there's all the damage they need. Shutdown comes through. Didn't see that one coming.
What a hype killer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Froggen's getting all the assassin kills. What slick moves? Stunned up and dead.
Yeah. That's a pretty likely and awful Baron for Immortals result. Froggen, again, his 7 of the team's 9 kills off the map. Immortals goes right for the Baron. Or at least the ward control.
The other impressive thing is look at the kill participation for the other members of Echo Fox.
Yeah.
Froggen's almost double of everybody else. Here we go though, Baron attempt number 2. Olleh getting stunned on the outside.
All right, gonna find Brandini in the front line. Immediately seismic shove back. Pobelter gets the first kill on this one. Keith goes back in for a couple of shots, and Olleh, a couple more attacks will do it, but now he's gonna run away, and Gate's about to be stunned. Buster shot buys some time, but nicely shot by Keith. They've still got to run though. and they will disengage, but it's a 1-for-0. The kill already went through onto Brandini.
Not done yet.
And Akaadian's in a bad spot. They're going to get knocked up as well, and second kill comes through. Props to Xmithie, and now no jungler alive means no smite steal.
They are fairly low health, so Froggen might be able to work some magic here, and that's all Echo Fox are hoping for.
Well, gotta go fast.
Immortals in the pit.
He's gonna hope for the big AoE damage. Does have the ultimate. Here comes the play. Can they shut down Immortals? He looks for Olleh first, though he's not part of the fight. They're gonna get the smite through. Nicely done by Xmithie, gets the one. And now the fight continues as Olleh is gone, but a 3v4 on the map. And will they even look for this? Froggen is looking to flank on a flame. The flash away from Gate stays alive. Heath holding time in the mid lane. Can they make it happen? He's gonna look for damage on Pobe.
Coming in from the back.
Heath could fight him. Goes for the burst. He's gonna look for flame, but the stun is too much. And the shutdown goes through to Cody Sun. The flash to chase. 2 more shots will kill off Gate. He's gonna look for it, and the boomerang blade not gonna do the damage. The slow is not gonna mean enough because the dunk comes through at Xmithie looking for one more. 2 for 1 in this fight. Explosive cast brings in Cody Sun. Thunderlord's triggered on Sivir, but Brandini's in a 1v2. Here comes Akaadian. The ulti pop to buy some speed. He's gonna go for the flash knock, and the ulti should be there for Akaadian. The burst gonna land. Brandini gets the kill though, and the still actually has the ulti. He wants to go for it again. The Void Rush was not actually consumed. Out goes Xmithie. 1 for 1 in that fight.
Whew. Baron in the end also goes over 2 Immortals, so this might be the end of the super chaotic plays. And
Never.
Now it's gonna be theoretically some more, structured lane pushing here for Immortals. They do have quite a lot to work with. 1 minute and 20 on the Drake. They don't have to wait for that. They can try and get some turrets early. It was a little bit touch and go here as far as the Baron. Froggen opts for picking off the straggler first, though.
Yeah.
Takes down the support, and then he's thinking he's going to flank around and maybe pick up some more kills. He doesn't have the best angle on Pobelter, though, who would be the best follow-up target.
Bye.
That's not his name.
It's hello backwards. It's the opposite. It's essentially his name.
There you go. I'll give you credit.
Thanks,
You
man.
also get a B+.
Oh, I appreciate that.
B+ is for everybody. Here goes the structured push, though, from Immortals.
4v5.
Actually, not that structured. They've got their Sivir. Gonna have to work overtime in the top side.
Yep.
Press up this lane.
Yep, Cody Sun playing to the lore. Sivir loves gold. He's going to keep finding that. Hope he can make that continue on. He's going to knock down the top lane. He's going to bring it down. 10,000 gold lead for Immortals. They're seemingly waiting for Olleh to respawn. He's now back on the map. Ardent Sensor is done. 0, 5, and 6 makes his life really difficult, though. That 58 armor is certainly not high. And looks like it's going to be grouping mostly towards this top side. The only tier 2 turret left is this one, as you can see on the screen, so easy objective to go for. Thanks, Observer.
All right. Immortals still have some Baron to work with.
Froggen's not got a lot of walls to jump through. That one's going to work, though. Xmithie might not realize how the E works, and gives him an escape route.
A couple of betrayals, actually. Teleport is available on frame, by the way, so Echo Fox has to be very careful about going for a play like that where they collapse onto Immortals because they could just turn it around.
They see Akaadian, they see Gate. The front line was knocked in, and Akaadian forced to run away under 1,000 HP. Gate forced out as well. The crits coming through. The minions are gone. This turret likely to follow. And the 6th turret kill of the game for Immortals. Echo Fox, to their credit, have only gotten 12 kills, but no really objectives.
Yeah. In this straight-up 5-on-5, if you group up, it makes Talon's job very difficult. That's what Immortals are trying to get done here while still having Flame keep the minions pushing for mid lane. He tries to kill the wave, then hover over to the top side so that he can join the team for that 5-on-5. As long as they group up, it's going to be very difficult for Froggen to get back there to Cody Sun or Olleh. And that's all they need to accomplish.
Moving this one forward, though. He's going to jump right back out with the turrets at half HP. Flame 1v1 with Froggen. Tries to guess where he is. Doesn't quite get it right, though. A lot of ulti damage, and Akaadian can ult. Can they get this fight coming through? Akaadian's going to look for it. Ulti's going to come in for some damage. Gets him really low. A couple more shots will kill in Flame. Meanwhile, it's actually Brandini forced out. Just barely survives, and the same for Flame. Both top laners live. TP is available for the Immortals top, so we can rejoin soon. Brandini will heal up in the fountain and come back as well.
Yeah, they can just wait for the next minion wave, then teleport on the first minion the turret is on, use that as some extra time to siege if they want to press it. They know that Froggen's ultimate is down.
There's a Cloud Drake up. They've got... Oh, no, they're not going for it. They're going for the siege mid lane. Continue. Just kidding. It's Cloud Drake. Yeah!
So we're going to be able to pick that one easily. There is no vision on Akaadian, but he doesn't exactly know the health of this Drake, so probably going to be no steal here. Immortals do back off for a second. A little bit of a breather for Echo Fox, who are trying to catch up, but the gold lead is ballooning.
Yep.
The extra Drakes are coming through.
You know what you fill balloons with?
Hydrogen?
Maybe.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, we've had that one happen before. It went poorly. Froggen looking in the back line for Xmithie, not a half HP. They might go for more play onto this one. Yes, he is. Gets the dunk, but not the auto, I do believe. He's not bleeding just... Oh, he is actually bleeding, but stays alive cleanly enough. It's another slow. Back over the wall goes Froggen. The fight might continue as Sivir winds down. Thunderlords happens. Brandini gets the kill down into Olleh. Knocks in Xmithie. Maybe more of a disengage. The KD forces to run down about 500 HP. Pobelter very, very low damage. Not quite there, though. And the damage back coming through. And Gate, though, getting one kill, but traded back as Brandini falls. 4v3 on the map. Flame wants in. He's looking for Keith. He's exhausted. Is the damage there? And it's not. The exhaust keeps him alive. Props to Gate for this. To continue on, they're going to go for Pobelter. The damage not there. Support doesn't have the punch in.
Oh, he got his
And Akaadian wants Cody, but can't get it. Cody Sun stays alive. Cody Sun is not done. He's going for the mid lane instead.
Oh, that was incredibly close. Akaadian just barely got his ult off before to see if he could get the execute damage. Not quite enough to finish Cody Sun, though, who gets the taunt after he lives. And Immortals will be able to secure the objective afterwards.
Yeah, plus 2 kills. Keith in a 1v3. This is not likely to work well. Does not get betrayed by his minions. No slice and dice for Flame. Just clears the minions, though, and Immortals even farther ahead now. 12,000 gold up, bearing up in a minute.
Definitely action-packed at the very least. Let's take another look at Akaadian. Starts it off, interrupting the back of Olleh here. They get both members down to about 50% HP before Flame teleports in, but this is a pretty strong Renekton who already has the GA, so Flame is just going nuts, trying to chase off everybody from the rest of his low health teammates. Brandini finds a really nice angle there onto the 2 low health members to get the execute onto Olleh again. So Immortals have to, once again, re-engage in the 4v5, knowing that they are working around some extra cooldowns. And again, Flame flashes forward, gets a stun onto Keith, finishes him low enough to chase him out of the fight and eventually pick up the kill. Akaadian plus Pobelter had both gone for Cody Sun after Pobelter used his Zonias.
Yeah. Beat himself out of this one.
Knees there, but
You're good. Want to shout out Xmithie, who tried to go for an EQ and delayed flash to knock up Keith as well. Didn't actually quite land the flash knockup, but oh, it's Froggen. And he's not going to get anything done. He's got to kite right back out. Xmithie going to look for the fight. And meanwhile, Akaadian looking for damage. Cody Sun has none to deal and gets shut down right there. The shield simply too much at this point. Olleh able to block out Rek'Sai damage, who has built full tank. That's not really very deadly. An extreme sense of knockback by some time. And Brandini going to jump over this wall as well. Still, though, a 5v4. Immortals the driver's seat.
all right, let's see what they can get done. Baron is up, and they should be able to clear out the only ward that is a pink ward, so just knock that one down real quick. They have plenty of damage and a mounted Drake to boot.
It's going to be knocked down pretty quickly. No smites available, so damage doesn't come through. Not even a problem at all. Red team has slain Baron Nashor 17 to 14 in kills, and wow, that's a 14,000 gold lead. I mean, they are so far ahead. And it's only 52 minutes. It's been a very action-packed game, about a kill a minute here. But yeah, gigantic lead now that we're into the mid to late game period.
Yep, gigantic lead, ability to group up into a 5-on-5 for even more synergy and even more defense means that the options for Echo Fox are really limited. And that's why we keep seeing them force even plays that don't look, like they're super high chance of success, because they honestly have to take any opportunity that presents itself to them.
I like this build by Cody Sun, getting himself Death's Dance to keep himself tankier. Nice knockback, not quite going to find the flag and drag as he's no longer in range anymore, Xmithie. But a nice ult from Brandini to stay alive. It's traded with Cody Sun's ultimate. Both now going to be on cooldown, and the siege goes for the top lane here. Baron buff on, Flame bringing in the wave. Olleh's got to be careful. He's actually going to get knocked around by Froggen. No, back over the wall he goes, but here's the chase in. Xmithie just going to let him right out of the Cataclysm. Of course, Zonias for Olleh to stay alive. That one certainly paid off. I got to say, I like the choice. That time, no kill comes through for Froggen. Still getting chased around.
Yeah, Xmithie's angry. He's not going to try and let him get back to base here. Froggen uses the sweeper to try and find an opening. Talon is very difficult to chase down.
Yep. Exemplar of Demacia chasing around this assassin. Now the attempt goes in for the top lane tier 2, knocking it in on Brandini. Zonia's popped by Pobelter staying alive. 2 kills picked up on the front liners. They are gone. Damage simply was there for Cody Sun with no assassin stop. Now it's not going to happen. A triple now. Cody Sun is not done. He wants a 4th. He wants Gate. He's not going to get him just yet. Now he wants Froggen, gets the 4th, and it's up to Gate. Do you give him the kill?
Quadra, get the beta!
Gate, come on. Gate, 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 come on.
Is it really a penta if the guy comes out to feed it to you?
Yes, it is! And he's not going to get it. Cody Sun deserves the quadra. He deserved all 5, but Gates, a scumbag, the worst player on the Rift, cut him from the team.
Big shot, could give it to him.
Put him in the relegation zone. It's about next to fall down.
Too late.
Immortals going to win this one. The respawn's coming in. And game 1 goes to Immortals in 34 minutes.
All said and done. He only was assassinated 2 times in the entire game, even without Ninja Tabi, so
Yeah.
not too big of a deal for him.
Can't complain.
Man, Immortals, though, coming out swinging once again, and they are making a very good finish to their season.
Yeah.
Echo Fox really made it entertaining. I like going for the
did.
style. Talon gameplay here on display early on, all over the map. Definitely some fun little skirmishes and chases to watch, but
Yeah.
there's a reason we don't see him too often in these LCS games. It is unreliable strategy, to say the least.
Yeah, and one thing I think that really hurts it was the fact that Echo Fox lost every lane. So even though Froggen solos someone out and buys some time, the resulting 4v4, their tanks have just 1,000 less gold than the other tanks. So Flame just has more damage and more health than Brandini does, so he wins that fight every time. Just runs him over.
The kill participation, I think, was one of the biggest things I noticed. I don't know when we said it, 10 or 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, he was at 8 and everyone's at 4.
Yeah, Froggen had double of the rest of the team because he's Talon, though, and Talon gets a lot of the solo kills.
Yeah.
That's what kind of creates that big gap.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't happen there for him. We've got some highlight reels, though, of Froggen. Honestly, he did do some fun things. He does get caught eventually as well, but...
And credit where credit is due, this was because Brandini and Akaadian, made that visit to the mid lane. We talked about how assassins do rely on the early pressure from junglers, kill pressure to really get them off and start running. But once he was, Froggen just made it look so clean, jumping over all the walls, in and out, multiple times, all ins for the kill, then jumps out afterwards. There's another one. This is the Baron one where he tries to get the extra chase, but
I'm not sure if he should have gone for the 5v4 or the 3v4 in the Baron pit, though. That's debatable, I think.
Yeah, especially when the objective is that big. Yes, going for the straggler on the outside is the easier kill.
Yeah.
But at that stage in the game, if you don't stop the Baron, no matter how many kills you get, do you really win?
Yeah, and you're right. I think that was a dicey one. My thought was, they're gonna go for the 3v4 and maybe they have the burst because he can buy time with the stealth. Maybe that was his one major mistake this game. Maybe it would have looked different, but of course the lanes were all losing in the first place. We have more team fights to show you, of course, as we are going to be holding the post game down here. 29-minute team fight, the 5-for-2 that really made this game end.
All right, this is the one where Echo Fox, they want to take any opportunity to try and get numbers advantage, try and get some initiative in a team fight, early damage. So they go for the recall interrupt. Unfortunately for them, Sivir ultimate makes it fairly easy for Immortals to answer. Flame still also had teleport, so he comes right out with the Guardian Angel. Brandini finds a really good flank on the side here. He's unable to get a nice knockback on Xmithie to solidify another kill, but he made it very close. Then Xmithie, with his dying breath, gets a triple knockup into a Cataclysm there that secures a couple more. And Flame just barely kills Keith, by the way. I don't know what the burn damage that was left on Keith that actually killed him, or if he actually walked out. Okay, he just walked out of range, so he never even went down, but Immortals were able to use that extra presence to take down the inhibitor, and that's where you really open up the base.
Yeah, that was huge. The teleprompter lied. It said 5-for-2, it's 4-for-2, it's okay. I got misled, but you're right. Keith got away with this one. Yeah, you can just see this game kind of snowballed. And it's funny because the graph almost lies, because the game ended with so much of a gold lead, 17,500 is ridiculously high, that the laning phase lead for the first 10 minutes, it looks so small by comparison. This is actually a pretty meaningful gold lead. It was just through the laning phase. We were seeing 500 gold before a kill came in, just from out farming, and that is really substantial for just laning phase. So props to everyone on Immortals who did so well, and now we'll see if Echo Fox can even up the series. We're going to come back with Game 2 for Echo Fox versus Immortals. Meet us back here after the break. See you soon.